Okay, it says that my Hangout has started, and hopefully you can hear me okay. I know that I'm not going to have many people listening to this broadcast originally, just because I didn't actually schedule broadcast. Somebody says hi in the chat. Hi, Barry White. I figured I wasn't going to get many people here because I didn't broadcast. I didn't share that I was going to do this because I didn't know when I was going to do this. It's been a long 3 weeks when I was on vacation, and then I came back and I had to work. I set up my time to work on Thursday thinking I was giving myself a day extra for me to just relax and unwind, which I really didn't. Hello, Angela, and hi, Val. Yeah, I was probably going to go to bed soon too. Thank you. Yes, thank you for everybody who wrote comments about, welcoming me back and wishing me well and all that on my last video. I'd like to be able to just do a video where you guys can just sort of chat in the chat room amongst yourselves, like Barry White said, I'm living in a van down by the river, and I'm thinking of Saturday Night Live now. Like Enter the Stars does, Casey. I think he's got a live chat going on right now. But I wanted to see if this worked, and apparently I think it's working. Otherwise, you'd tell me that you can't hear me. And see how the video camera works, because I don't think I've done a live chat since I got the video camera because my channel had a strike on it, a community strike, in which I could not do live chats until basically when I left, in which I didn't use them at that point. And I think it's just been hard for me to get back into the swing of things here because, for one thing, I got out of habits. I had a really good habit of intermittent fasting, not eating breakfast. I just ate at noon or later every single day. On the trip, that didn't happen. I did it first, but I got into a bad habit of eating all the time, basically, whenever I wanted to, and splurging on foods, where here I have to make everything myself because I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I basically buy the ingredients online and make everything myself, like vegan cheeses and things like that. There, I had all the processed vegan cheeses and vegan meats and various other things. So I got into the habit of eating these processed things. And so out of the habit of the fasting and everything. Yeah. I don't know that I'm going to start doing videos back on what I did do that got me the community strike. I didn't do anything wrong in my opinion, but what they're going to look for is different than hopefully what this channel may be heading in a direction of. I want to be able to get a job where I can make money. Right now, I'm just not even making minimum wage at what I was doing. So I'm trying to figure that out, but a lot of my time might be spent on doing that sort of stuff, trying to make money in some way. I don't like asking for money for what I do here, but obviously, the videos that I have been doing took a lot of time and effort and things like that. And I'm not asking for money. I'm just saying that I may need to do more work, in which case I might have less time to do this stuff, in which case maybe I could just have a quick video, every so often on the weekend for the Sabbaths and things like that, where you guys can come together and talk. And I didn't even get time to read the books that I wanted to read on my vacation, which I'm not complaining. I really enjoyed the time with Lisa and everything. And I got a lot of interesting discussions done. And so my mind is always working. But, I didn't get to do all the reading that I wanted to do. At least you guys out there get time to read. And I'm thinking maybe if I have a video on the Sabbath, maybe we can have different people on or something where we can discuss things. Hi, everybody. So maybe we can just have chats, fellowship chats, not necessarily a Sabbath meeting where I'm doing a teaching, because I don't like that idea of me teaching, because there's really only one good teacher, and that is our Father, Yahweh, the eternal one who was not begotten. You know, that spirit is our teacher, and we are just trying to figure things out. We're all on the same level. And, you know, maybe we could just have people come on and discuss things, discuss their thoughts. Christians don't follow the Sabbath. Well, I don't call myself a Christian. I have a video on why I rejected Christianity. And basically it's because it teaches a lot of things that go against what the Bible says and what our Messiah said. Jesus actually tells us that we have to keep the law, keep the commandments, or else we don't get to inherit the kingdom. And yeah, so you can check out my video on why I don't call myself a Christian, and this is not a Christian channel. So I was thinking that we could just do fellowship, coming together and discuss different ideas. And somebody posted here the title of my video, Slaves Under the Law of Angels, Universal Salvation Includes Fallen Angels. I mean, that's something you're not going to hear most places, you know. But I don't think our Father would keep anybody out of heaven, not allow them to repent of what they've done, no matter what they've done. Because I do think that everybody's going to be saved in the future. Because I just don't, you know, the early followers, oh, Barry White, he said, she just wants your cash. And that is completely not at all what I said. If I just wanted cash, I'd be tickling your ears and saying that Jesus did away with the law so that we don't have to keep it anymore and you can continue in your sin. That's not what this channel is about. We are supposed to stop doing that and start acting as if we care about our salvation. If you don't want to be a slave to sin, then that means you have to stop sinning. And yes, our Father gave us the power to do that. It's inside of all of us. If you want to stop sinning, you can. So anyway, yes, I don't deny that Jesus is the Son of God. Once again. So yeah, just ignore Barry. Okay. I don't know how you thought my channel was a Christian channel. It's not. You can just see my videos on that. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yeah. So yes, he always makes a way of escape for us out of every single temptation. And if he didn't, then he would be a liar and he would not be almighty and all good and all powerful. So yes, we have a way to stop and not sin. And so that is much better than being stuck in Christianity, which teaches that you're a slave to sin forever and that Jesus failed and that he has to come back to save you in the future. I don't agree with that. I believe that he already finished what he came to accomplish. So, yeah, I'm glad you guys are enjoying that. And I think that Barry is gone, hopefully. Let's see, I'm just checking out the chat. Mike was saying, I'm not sure I can call myself one. From what I know, it comes down to the way we spell our names. It's a title. Christian was something they called little Christs because people were supposedly following the Christ, and that is coming in his name. But just like Yahweh says that you profaned my holy name when you went and sinned among the heathen to the Israelites, we are taking Jesus's name in vain when you say that you're a Christian and you continue to sin. So, yeah, we're not supposed to take his name in vain by sinning. So we're supposed to stop that. And if you continue to say that he wants you to sin, that he took care of it all, and that you're going to continue in your sin, then you're making him into a liar. You're making him into a failure. And I don't agree with any of that. Hi, Lucy. So it's great to see you all in the chat room. I'm not really sure how many people I have watching because I just popped out the chat, but It's good to see you all here. And this wasn't really my main one. I think I was going to do a video tomorrow morning. I guess if I don't get into it, it's because I'm sleeping. I'm trying to catch up on some sleep from being away on vacation and being tired once I got back with all the traveling and everything. And I did all the laundry. You know, the dog was sleeping on my bed, missing me while I was gone. Thank you, Mike. There's 8 people watching in case you're listening to this later. And, you know, that's good for off the cuff video I wasn't planning on putting up. So I'm sidetracking. Anyway, I was tired and I've been trying to catch up on my sleep the last couple of days, and I wasn't sure that I was going to do this video tonight or just do one tomorrow morning, and that's why I did not plan for that. I'm glad Angela, she wrote, I have Christ in me, but not a Christian. I strive towards holiness, as we all should. You have helped me so much, sister, and God has given so many confirmations through you, and I'm glad, because I don't come on here to tell you what to do. I just come on here and share my opinion. It's just a channel for my opinion. And I did this because I wanted to work for Yahweh. That's where the channel name came from. I'm trying to do his will and not my own, and hopefully help people get out of this slavery, this bondage to sin. I practice spiritual warfare in the fact that I went through a deliverance, and I have a video on how to go through a deliverance. And that is how, you know, I commanded the demons to leave when, you know, in Jesus's name, which is why I'm not a sacred namer, because they left. And I did that in May 2015 or so. And my life turned around completely at that point. And then I prayed to not be deceived. And then I prayed to be led to all truth. And Father has definitely guided me through a lot of deceptions in the last 2.5 years or so. So it's been a work in progress. As far as prayers at this point in time, now I'm more towards visualization prayers because they work better. The visualization prayers are prayers where you envision that what you wanted already has happened, and it has to be in our Father's will, his name or character. And you can't just pray for something to happen because you want it to happen. It has to be about his character and authority, not just, yeah, what you call him. Yeah. So we have to pray in his will. And if it's not in his will, it's not going to be done. So then I hesitate when somebody's asking me to pray for somebody to be healed, or else they're going to die, you know, because they're in the hospital. And it's really hard to pray for that, because sometimes our Father's will is for somebody to die because they've lived their life and their purpose at that point. And we have to pray in our Father's will. That's, you know, all it came down to in the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus prayed, but he prayed for, you know, this cup to pass from him 3 times. He prayed to not die, but it was the Father's will that he did at that point. So that's why, you know, we really have to be careful, or whatever, not pray just what we want done. We have to pray for our Father's will to be done. And I believe that our Father's will means everybody's going to get saved eventually, and everybody's going to come to the truth eventually. And I'm no longer really worried about, you know, the tribulation and all that stuff. I understand that those things may happen, but because there's nothing new under the sun and all that. But I think that as long as we're keeping the commands and following our Father's Spirit, which I am, then there's nothing to be worried about, because you're under his protection. So, and if something happened to you, it was our Father's will, because you're supposed to learn from that. And so I'm not really worried about anything anymore. And Angela said that many do get offended. And it's funny, because when Jesus went to his family, it actually says whatever he was talking about back when he went to his hometown actually offended them. So we're in good company, basically, highly. So it's good to see you all here. I don't know what else I should talk about. Oh, yes, not fearing. I'm definitely not going to be afraid of things. And yes, they come out of the furnace not even smelling like smoke. So yeah, the truth is going to stand. If we're really trying to purify ourselves as he is pure, are going to be gold tried in the fire. And we are put into that fire, but the gold's not going to disappear. Everything that is pure and true is going to last, and everything that is deceptive and false is going to fade away. And I also did that video series on evil destroying itself, which sort of talked about that evil is not a real thing. In the Nazarene Acts, it talks about how Kephas says that the Hebrews didn't believe evil was real, and that, you know, it's only just a concept in our mind to think that there is evil. Yeah, there's bad things that happen, but there's a purpose for it. We're learning here. And anything that could be considered bad is going to pass away. Only the real and the eternal and the truth is going to last forever. And, you know, our Father is almighty and all powerful and all good, and he created this creation. So how can we say anything is evil or bad? That would be attributing our Father to creating something evil or bad. And I don't agree with that. That kind of goes back to the demiurge belief, which I have a video describing why I don't believe in the demiurge. So unless there's anything you guys want to ask in the chat room, I might end this now. I might try to do a video tomorrow morning. We'll see. I just wanted to see how this works out, and sounds like it's working out okay, because otherwise you'd be complaining that you can't hear me. Mike says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. And I've heard somebody else say that this is him saying, I form the light. It's not that he created darkness, it's that he formed light. And in the absence of light, there is darkness. It's nothing. It's zero. Darkness is zero. Yahweh formed the light. Darkness is something that is only visible compared to light. So when there's light, the darkness is shown, but it's not that darkness was anything there. It was just that Yahweh created light. Hard to describe exactly. I think Brad even has a video on that verse. If you go to the David Hanotsuri channel, you can see his video on that. Angela wrote, I was paralyzed with fear, with deception going down rabbit holes, but my Father delivered me. Yeah, there's nothing to fear when you start researching these things, because the truth, the gold, is going to last. The fire just burns out the dross. And when you study things out, you're going to find out that you can find the falsehoods a lot easier, and you can see the truth so much clearer. And it's great. You're just sort of putting a fire on gold to see what's true and what's not. And anything that's false is going to pass away, and you'll be left with just the pure gold. And Jeff was asking about the Great Flood, and Val said, sun shines on the just and the unjust, the rain rains on the just and the unjust. And that is so true. All right, that's how we're supposed to be perfect, as our Father is perfect. We're supposed to bless those who curse us, just because that's what he does. Our Father blesses those who curse him with the rains and the sun, and that's how we are supposed to act. So, and I'm still thinking about the Great Flood. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of information from different religions and things like that about a flood story. But what I found very, very interesting was that the Talmud, and I'm probably going to get people who hate the fact that I even read this part of the Talmud. I know the Talmud has some really bad things in it, but the Talmud has some interesting things about the flood, because it says that the water was boiling hot. And to me, that just screams like the lake of fire, when Jesus says that it's going to be just like the time of Noah. And then there's the lake of fire. And I believe it said that the fish were not getting burned from the lake of fire. And I've also heard that the fish could represent righteous people, so that the great flood, according to the Talmud, could have been like that lake of fire, and only the righteous people were not hurt by the boiling water. And we are like in the boiling water here on earth because we're being purified. And perhaps that goes back to the astrological signs about like the age of Aquarius and things like that, how we're moving into a new age. And yeah, I'm not going to get into all that right now. So is there anything else you guys want to ask any questions of, or I might just end this for tonight. I'm going to skip the person calling us fools. It's interesting. The Bible says we're not supposed to call each other you fool. Of course, that's with anger. I just want my channel to be a place where people can chat about things that are different and not hate each other for studying something that's different, basically. And Val said parts may have had some historical truth in there, that there was a flood somewhere, but I think that the Bible is only one interpretation of that story. And I'm sure that the Bible is only one interpretation of that story. Plus, we have different stories. One of them says that there was a fire kindled, and then all these gods, like little g gods, were going towards the fire where they were sacrificing it, like flies. They just attracted the flies when they put the sacrifice up right after the flood, which is just crazy. All right. I think I'm going to end this for tonight. Thank you all for coming here and being a part of the chat. And I may try to do one tomorrow morning, I think. Leave a comment. Just, let me know if you thought this was good. And of course, oh, it says 10 viewers here on the Google thing. And Shabbat Shalom, everybody.